what happened in Munich happening again?
Well, I think we started today with this fence here and the amount of security that are present. There was no security in Munich. You know, that was one of the terrible things about Munich. There was no security there. And the guy who ran the security company is the chairman of the German Boxing Board of Control. There was inadequate security there. But that's done. That's been, you know, we've done that to death. I've made it very clear my position from day one as far as Dereck Chisora is concerned. Unacceptable. A couple of things that happened before the fight, after the fight. I made it very clear. I don't think he went to have a fight, but what happened happened. And he's paid the price. He's paid a big price financially through not being able to fight. Now this fight's taking place. The Board of Control, and I want to emphasise this again, the Board of Control made a decision not to ban Dereck Chisora. And they made that for a reason.
Frank, Gareth Ed Davis, Daily Telegraph. The kind of legality of what's going on notwithstanding, do you not feel that there'll be a widespread perception that you're undermining the authority of the boxing board to govern the sport in this country by going ahead and doing this?
No, I don't. I don't think so. No more than probably the German Commission in Germany feel that the board are underestimating their governing their jurisdiction in Germany when they go and send officials out to cover shows for the Austrian Commission and licensed boxers to go there. You know, the Boxing Board of Control had an opportunity to have the appeal. It was their choice, not ours, to push it back. And as I said very clearly, I also have a duty to Dereck Chisora. I'm his manager. He is allowed to box, and I would be in breach of my agreement with him if I didn't arrange a fight for him. You know, this fight's going on. All the boxers, it's going to be correctly medically supervised. It'll be exactly the same as if it were a British Boxing Board of Control fight. So I don't see what the problem is. You know, David Haye, he can be licensed anywhere in the world. He's not banned from boxing. What's the problem?
James and Kirby at boxingfutures.com. David, it's widely reported the large sums you made from your last two fights on pay-per-view on Sky. How is this deal working for you? Is it a set fee or is there a percentage on subscriptions?
I'm happy with what I'm getting paid. I can't go into details of what that exactly is, but I'm happy because I get the opportunity to shut this guy up. You know, I tried to do it in Germany. That obviously didn't work. I didn't hit him hard enough, maybe didn't hit him enough. These people went away. So July 14th, I'll be able to get my money's worth out of him.
Can I ask you a question, Gareth? Do you want to see this fight? Well, then so you want to see it. Why shouldn't anybody else want to see it? Do you want to see it? Do you guys want to see the fight? I mean, maybe some of you don't. I want to see it. So what on earth why not? It's licensed. It's legal.
But Frank, why didn't you push the board to bring the hearing forwards?
I pushed the board to do it. They've told us that they cannot hear it till July. It's not their decision, it's ours. We're all ready. We sent all the bundles out, all his defence bundles out to all the parties concerned, and we were told last week it's been pushed back. So, you know, we're in between the Euros and the Olympics. That means he's going to be out of action to at least October. And, you know, the guy's got to get a living.
Are the two guys already licensed, therefore, or by the Luxembourg board? So if the British Boxing Board came forward and banned Dereck tomorrow, for example...
Well, they can't ban him. How can they ban him? They've made a decision which is subject to an appeal. They had an opportunity, they had a hearing, and it was made very clear at the hearing he is not banned from boxing, only that they will not license him. And that was their decision.
David, Joel Campbell.
I can't hear.
Alan Hubbard from the Independent on Sunday. Frank, two of your fellow promoters, Barry Hearn and Frank Maloney, say that you staging this fight will kill boxing. It'll be end of the sport in boxing as we know it. What's your response to that?
Well, two things. You know, did Barry Hearn, when he formed the breakaway snooker organisation or a breakaway darts organisation against those two governing bodies, did it kill those sports? I don't think so. I think even the BDO, I think they went to court and there was said the players should have a freedom of choice as to which open events they wish to play in. You know, Luxembourg is part of the EU. It's a freedom of movement. The border control are members of the EVU, as are Luxembourg, and they recognise each other as governing bodies. And just a point, Barry Hearn, quite a few years ago, won a purse bid for Julian Jackson to defend his title against Harold Graham. And Julian Jackson was found to be blind in one eye when he had his medicals in this country. So Barry took the fight to Spain, and he felt it was in the interest of boxing for a guy who was blind in one eye to fight in Spain. So, you know, we know what Buzzing Baz has to say, and he's got his agenda, and his agenda is if I can't have it, let's rubbish it.
David.
Well, Frank Maloney, you know, he's a guy when he worked for me and sold a story to the newspaper up in Scotland, The Sun, saying that Scott Harrison was drunk at a press conference who he managed. And never even told me about it. So I don't need to tell them about boxing. You know, I've supported the border control. I've worked very hard with the border control and continue to. I'm not against the boxing border control. You know, far from it. I'm still supporting them. What I've said, if they want to bring forward the hearing, or if they choose that, you know, Dereck served enough time now, as far as they're concerned, and license him, terrific. It'd be, as well as being under Luxembourg jurisdiction, it'd be under the British Boxing Border Control jurisdiction.
Gerald Campbell, Global Sport in Colour. Were you not guilty of raining on Dereck's parade in Germany?
Pardon?
Were you not guilty of raining on his parade? Kind of.
Raining on his lost parade. No, I went into.
It was his moment. That's.
I sat back in the press conference, allowed him to have his moment, not to rain on his parade. Waited until him and his coach had finished, and Frank Warren finished what they were saying, and then addressed Vitaly Klitschko and his promoter, because I had some beef with them. Chisora piped up, telling me he's going to give me 2 slaps, and then he kind of rained on my parade, to be honest, because I was trying to have a conversation with Vitaly Klitschko, asking whether he wanted to do the fight that he'd agreed to, and he pipes up, he gets down, takes his jacket off, all his boys behind him, he gets put on his arse. So he kind of rained on my parade that day. But, you know, it's all worked out well for him. Here he is now getting a payday. You know, if he wouldn't have done that, you know, who knows where he'd be now.
As long as it don't rain on the 14th.
Frank, can you hear me?
Sounded like Norman Carter.
Look, going back to perception, without being squeamish, there are a lot of people out there who would like to see boxing banned. That's one of the wider perceptions. We've got all this security here. We've got talk about jumping across the fence. There's been mention of a knife being drawn somewhere. What do you think that means for the perception of boxing?
I was having a steak, mate. I was having a steak.
I think where you're coming from there, John, I hear what you're saying. You know, I can look at various sports and see some of the things that happen in sport. You know, what is the perception of people who feel that drug cheats should be allowed to participate in sport? What do you feel about footballers who you know, get involved in racist situations on the pitch, continuing to play football? What do you feel when you see, like, the football match a couple of weeks ago where the 2 teams were knocking 7 colours out of each other? What do you feel about that? You know, unfortunately, stupid things are said. Stupid things happen. People do stupid things. But as I said to you, we've got security here. These guys will settle their differences in the ring on the 14th. And what will the perception be? We'll find out on the night whether this place is sold out and whether people subscribe to the match, subscribe to watch the fight. As I say, whatever differences they've got, they'll be settled in the ring. And I'm sure, like all of these fights, after the fight, and they're going to say no, I'm sure that'll be the end of it between them.
I hope so.
Well, or maybe there'll be a return. Who knows?
Probably want to do it in MMA rules next time.
Yeah.
Question for Dereck. Dereck, obviously, the altercation with David has led to this event taking place. Do you feel remorse over what happened with the Klitschko brothers, the slapping and the spitting water in the face of the other brother in Munich in February?
You already apologised for that.
Did I apologise?
Yes, you did. He's already apologised for that.